third graders, it's Mrs. Almeida. I hope you're ready for a story that I'd like to share during Week of Respect. And Week of Respect is the week we in New Jersey talk about bullying behavior and what is being a bully and what is being a buddy, and that we could really choose how we need to act to become friends and help each other. And this story is called Bully by Judith Castlereagh. Bully. For my mother, it says, whom I adore. Mickey and Long John met their friends at the park. Troy and Ian were playing catch. Jessica was climbing the monkey bars. Jack was sliding headfirst down the slide. Watch me, Jack called to his mother. She didn't see you, Long John told him. She was changing the baby. Who cares, said Jack, and he headed for the monkey bars. Watch me climb to the top, he called. She didn't hear you, Mickey told him, climbing behind him. The baby was crying. Who cares, said Jack, stepping hard on Mickey's hand. You're not my friend anymore, said Mickey. Ask me if I care, said Jack. You used to be a mouse, said Mickey, and now you've turned into a great big rat. Jack gave him a shove, saying, Don't call me a rat. I saw that, said Mother, and she took him home. A few days later, Mickey announced to his family, I need more cookies in my lunchbox, please. 3 cookies is plenty, Mama said to Mickey. Plus a sandwich and an apple, Papa added. He throws the apple away, said Jenna, and Mickey glared at her. No more cookies, Mama said, and the subject was closed. The next day at lunch, in the school cafeteria, Mickey took a peanut butter sandwich, 3 chocolate chip cookies, a juice box, and a container of applesauce out of his lunchbox. He put his arms around his food as if he were making a fort, and ate his lunch very carefully. Jack reached over and grabbed the bag of cookies. Tell anybody and I'll deck you, he said. Peanut butter stuck to the roof of Mickey's mouth. He wanted his cookies back, but the words stuck in his throat too. I'm glad I ate my cookies already, said Jessica. Maybe you should tell the teacher about Jack, said Long John. He's bigger than I am, Mickey answered. After lunch, the children returned to their classrooms. Jack's seat stayed empty, which made Mickey happy. Maybe Jack had gotten sick from eating too many cookies. Maybe he was moving to another town or another state or a country or a planet. Just as Mrs. Pringle began writing on the blackboard, Jack slid into his seat. He leaned toward Mickey, stuck his hand inside Mickey's desk, and found his pencil with the dinosaur eraser. Then he broke it in half. That's for calling me a rat, he said, putting the pieces on Mickey's desk. So, let's think about it for a minute and take a look at what's happening. How do you think Mickey is feeling? Now, we saw in the beginning of the story, they were talking back to each other. He was trying to speak up. But we're noticing something about Jack and his behavior, that it's repeated and over to be mean to him. We also notice that other students are noticing his behavior, which is bystander behavior. So a lot can happen, a lot can change. But is this kind behavior? Even if somebody turns around and said, I was just kidding, it really is hurtful. On Sunday, Mickey helped Papa in the garden. There's a bully at school and his name is Jack, he told his father. He used to be my friend, but now he eats my cookies and breaks my pencils in half. Well, maybe if you use your brave words, said Papa, putting the water can down. Practice saying, I don't like that, or stop, you're hurting me. I don't like that, Mickey said loudly. That's right, said Papa, stand your ground. In my experience, most bullies are cowards. Then he began to water the geraniums. The next day, Mickey hid his cookies in his pocket. As he walked down the aisle of the cafeteria, his lunchbox in his hand, someone stuck a foot out in front of him. Down went Mickey, and up went the lunchbox, snapping open in midair. His juice box went flying, and his sandwich followed, which Jessica stepped on by mistake. The applesauce container rolled a few tables back. If he called for help, was he using his brave words? Mickey stared at Jack. He didn't look like a coward. Jack stared back at Mickey. Jack didn't act like one either. Mickey sat down as far away from Jack as he could possibly get. It was hard to stand your ground when your juice box was crushed and your sandwich was squished and your applesauce container was underneath another table. No thanks, said Mickey, when Jessica offered him a sandwich. He didn't like bologna anyway. On the weekend, Mama took Mickey to see a movie about bugs. The lights went down. They sat waiting in the dark. Do you remember Jack? Mickey whispered to his mother. We used to be friends and now he eats my cookies and he trips me in the lunchroom. If I were a bug, he'd squash me. Didn't Jack's mother have a baby? Mama whispered. Maybe that's why he's acting that way. Jack isn't the only child anymore. When you were born, your sister didn't like it. She wheeled you down the street and tried to give you to a neighbor. That's kind of funny. But anyway, let's think for a minute. So Mom is using something called empathy. She's using understanding of another person to see why they're acting a certain way. So she's saying that maybe Jack is feeling that he needs attention. Do you think Mickey feels that way? Since he's the one being picked on and being bullied all the time? I don't know, but maybe Mom's trying to help him to see another side, another perspective. And that's what we do when we do problem solving. Really, said Mickey. Really, said Mama. Have you ever heard the saying, love thy enemy? No, said Mickey. What does it mean? It means, said Mama, that you might try being nice to him. Mickey started to say, he already gets to eat my cookies. But the movie had begun. On Monday, the class took a bus to the museum. Mickey sat alongside Long John, and they played the alphabet game using signs along the road. When they parked at the museum, they had only reached the letter C. There was a tap on Mickey's shoulder. C is for cap, said Jack, taking Mickey's baseball cap and tossing it across the aisle. Kyle caught the cap and threw it to Billy. Billy threw the hat as if it were a boomerang, and it hit the teacher on the head. The owner of this has no recess tomorrow, said Mrs. Pringle. And I keep the cap. It's hard to love your enemy, said Mickey to Long John. I couldn't do it, said Long John to Mickey. I want to stop for a minute. I want to think about it. So, I notice bystander behavior. Because instead of giving the cap back, they all chose to continue the game, knowing how Mickey was feeling. So, when we see someone being mean, we have choices to make. And we can help by speaking up or stopping it. Or we could hurt by joining in or maybe not saying anything. That's what we have to think about. And use some empathy. Like, would you like it? How would you feel if it? How would I feel? Those are the things of using empathy too, that you ask yourself, how would I feel if this happened to me? So Mickey and Jenna played ball in the afternoon. Mickey dropped the ball for the 14th time. The sun got in my eyes, he explained to Jenna. Where's your hat? Said Jenna, and Mickey told her about Jack. Mama says I should try being nice to him. Papa says that most bullies are cowards. I say Jack is ruining my day. Sick with Mama, Jenna said. Bring him more cookies. The next day at lunch, Mickey pushed a bag of chocolate chip cookies down the long table until they got to Jack. Jack ate the cookies without saying a word. Back in the classroom, Mrs. Pringle returned the children's homework. She handed Jack his paper saying, I liked your story about your baby sister and your dog. Everybody turned to look at Jack. It really happened, said Jack, smiling, and there were brand new braces on his big white teeth. Track mouth, cried a voice from the back of the room. Track mouth, Jack, said someone in the front. That's enough, said Mrs. Pringle. They look very nice. They're such a pretty blue. Jack's face got red, and he scrunched down in his seat as if he were a turtle. So now, what's happening to Jack? He's getting picked on. And sometimes that happens. People pass around the mean. We really need to pass around the kind. And I think that's probably what Mickey is thinking. In the hallway after class, Mickey said to Jack, Blue's my favorite color. Mine too, said Jack in a very low voice. That's why I picked it. What's your story about? Asked Mickey. I made my baby sister laugh for the very first time since she was born. How? Said Mickey. I taught my dog to dance. Jack smiled once more so that his blue braces flashed. When I was born, said Mickey, my sister wanted to give me away to the neighbor. No kidding, said Jack, and they started to laugh and didn't stop until a teacher shushed them. Well, I think I might have joined them if I heard them laughing. At home after dinner, Mickey asked Mama if he could play at Jack's the next day. Jack's going to show me how he taught his dog to dance. Jack, the bully? Were you nice to him, she said Mama. Did you use your brave words, Papa asked. Did you bring him more cookies? Jenna wanted to know. I tried everything, Mickey told them. Then I made him laugh. Bully for you. I never thought of that, said Papa. Bully for you, said Jenna and Mama. Bully for me, said Mickey loudly, which made the four of them laugh for the longest time. And there are the cookies. So I think they gave us some good strategies. And I think that's how we have to do and act when we have a problem. We have to talk to people and get ideas and perspectives. And using kind usually works really well. So think about it for a little while. Continue in your kindness in 3rd grade, because I know 3rd grade are super students. Until we meet again, bye.